Hello, welcome back to Petrolhead. My name is Andy and I'm quite fortunate. I have an electric car and I have a driveway. So I have one of these, a charger that I use at home. So it's quite important to me that I choose my electric tariff for my home energy based on what the car does, because if I fully charge the car, I've got an i3, 44 kilowatt hours of battery. My house only uses about 20 a day in normal use. So there's a lot of money going into that car, so it's important that I have a good tariff. So about 2 years ago, lots of my EV friends were talking about Octopus Energy, so I moved over to them and started trying the tariffs. I started on Octopus Go, which is their straightforward EV tariff. For 20 hours a day, it's a standard rate, but then you get that 4 hours of 5p a unit and you concentrated charging in that time. And with smart chargers, you can always charge that, so it's a really good way to bring your costs down. Then everyone started talking about something called Octopus Agile, so I tried that and it was amazing. It brought my average cost down below 10p a unit, and if you go back to watch some of my older videos, my Octopus Agile ones have been very popular for this reason. It was a really good tariff in 2020, and there was a number of reasons. You know, the pandemic was probably bringing down a lot of commercial electricity, and there was some good solar, there was good wind, and there was good nuclear. This brings the CO2 level down, and it also brings the cost down, and that is passed on to the consumer. It's a very fair tariff, and it's very transparent, and I'm a big fan of it still. However, the problem is, there's a few little issues that happened, all roughly around the same time. And if you go on Twitter and follow Greg Jackson, the CEO of Octopus, he's been very open about it. And a lot of it was down to things like there being nuclear power plants offline. And the way that renewable energy works and the way it's cheap is if nuclear is always there as kind of giving you the foundations, but a lot of the energy is coming from renewables. Problem with renewables is if there's no wind, and at night time you don't get the wind energy and you don't get the solar energy. So the price of Agile has been going up, and this is a bit of a problem because suddenly it becomes very expensive and that puts people off. And we should really be encouraging people to use some renewable energy at times when the CO2 is low and also the cost is low. We're now in 2021 and I'm not on Agile anymore. And I've been quite open about this. I was a big fan of it back in 2020, and then when the cost was going up, I stuck at it a lot longer than most people did because I believed in it and I thought this is going to get better, and it kind of didn't. As much as I was a massive fan of Agile, and I still am, and I keep an eye on the prices and I'll go back, you know, I'm a family man, I need to watch the money. So I looked at it and I thought, okay, let's go back to Go. But let's have a look at Go Faster, which I think is a really clever tariff. So the advantage of Go Faster is you have a choice of when your cheap time happens. Like it's all after 8:30 in the evening, which is when CO2 naturally goes down. So you're still encouraged to avoid the 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. slot where it's very expensive on Agile. But if you do need energy in that time, you're just paying a standard rate. But the advantage is you can choose 3, 4 or 5 hours of cheaper energy, and you can also choose when that time starts. And if you choose the shorter time, the 3 hours, you pay even less, 4.5p. And 4 hours is 5p, and 5 hours is 5.5p. Now, all these numbers are subject to change. Like a lot of Octopus products, they are in beta or beta, depending on how you pronounce it. So it's really interesting, and I love them as a company, and they're great with support, and they're forward thinking, and they're putting their investment in the right place, so they're great. Still really recommend them. So yeah, with Go Faster, I actually went for the 5-hour window, which gave it 5.5p unit, but I started it at 8:30 in the evening. Now, I put my car on charge at that time, if it needs it, doesn't need it every day. But yep, put it on charge 8:30, and then I'm getting the charge at 5.5p unit, which is great value. But also I use things like white goods. So this tariff is encouraging us as a family to not have the dishwasher and the tumble dryer and washing machine on in that 4 to 7 p.m. window when CO2 levels are higher. and it encourages us to push that back to later. I could have done that on Octopus Go, but the downside of Go is it starts at midnight, and my daughters are in bed and we're in bed, so we don't really want, white goods rattling around with all the dishes and then the beeps at the end, all those type of noise in the middle of the night. So the advantage of doing it at 8:30 is I can do that before everyone's really asleep, and then turn everything off and then go to bed. So it's really good. So the car gets charged cheaply, and all of our white goods, which are sort of energy used cheaply, and obviously things like the television in the evening, all those type of things are being used cheaply. So what's this actually meant? It's actually brought my average price back down again. I'm seeing quite a lot of days where my average is sort of 9p a unit. The average is generally lower on the days I charge the car because, like I said at the start of the video, that uses a lot of energy, whereas the day-to-day home use is less. So on the days when I don't charge, my average might be a little bit higher because the energy is spread out throughout the day. But on those days when I charge, or we're doing a lot of washing or anything else like that, then it's great. Brings the price down. That's where I'm at the moment. There's a referral link in the description that gets you 50 quid, and it gets us 50 quid as well. So massively appreciate anyone who uses my code. And beyond that, they're just a really good company, and I really like their support. I pretty much have, whenever I need to contact support, it's the same people replying to me, and that makes a big difference. You build up a rapport over time, and they know me, and it just feels like you're dealing with someone rather than just being, dealing with some robot in a call center. So I'm really impressed with them. Highly recommend you move over. Like I said, referral code in the description gets you £50 of credit. It's great, yeah. Anyway, if you have any questions, please just comment below or email me. A lot of my videos are actually in response to emails that I've received saying, oh, hi Andy, I've seen your video on X, what's your view on Y? And I do a video on it. It's just a really good means of me sharing my thoughts and hopefully helping some more EV owners and those potentially going to EVs. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Cheers, bye bye.